New at 6, Congressman Ralph Norman was just re-elected to his third term, serving South Carolina's 5th district. That includes all of Cherokee and Union counties and parts of Spartanburg. We sat down with the representative to talk about what the Republican Party will do with control of the House, plus who they'll run for president in 2 years.
And we're now joined by Congressman Ralph Norman here from South Carolina. And so, Congressman, again, congratulations on your re-election bid there on this past Tuesday. To get right into it, I do want to get your opinion and your input on the election results. It wasn't as much of a red wave that a lot of people were anticipating or predicting, but it looks like the Republicans will be able to regain control of the House. So as far as how you evaluate this election, these midterms, what positives or negatives are you seeing here between both parties?
Well, I think the positives are the number one goal is to take the gavel from Nancy Pelosi. When you win the majority, you don't take half the gavel or a fourth of the gavel, you take all of it. And she has done so much damage to this country, Justin, and what she's not allowed to be debated, the spending. This country is in trouble, and it's largely a result of, both the House and the Senate and the administration. But some of the things she did as Speaker do not make sense. Now, it wasn't as big as we thought, but still, we're going to take the gavel from her, and we got to do something with it. Power for the sake of power is no good. So we've got to do the basics. You can't do much if you're bankrupt. You got to close the border. You got to be energy independent. And it's not going to be easy with the Biden administration, but we're going to put him in a position to let him veto it, and we'll just go from there, because not doing anything is not an option. But overall, I'm glad we're taking control. Hopefully Herschel Walker will prevail in the Senate and Laxalt, and we'll control the Senate.
And you touched on it briefly there just a little bit as far as taking the power, and power's no good to just have the power. So what does a Republican-led House look like, at least for the next 2 years, with a Biden White House?
Well, whoever the speaker is, and I told Kevin McCarthy, we want a Ron DeSantis type speaker. If you look at where the red wave occurred, it occurred in Florida. It's because he took bold action. There were no pastel colors. There were bold colors. He did what made sense. He's a business person, and we got to have a speaker who will be very bold. And I'm tired of 20 and 30-year budgets. We need a 5 to 7 year budget. We need to do, closing the border. We need to be energy independent. Nothing happens in this country unless we become energy independent and stop buying it from OPEC countries that don't like us. Now, that being said, I don't know if Biden or it's really not Biden, it's the cabal that's running the country, whether he's going to let anything, if he's just going to veto everything. If he does that, then at least we'll showcase to the American people the sound policies that we're advocating. And we got 3 branches of government, and hopefully we'll have the Senate, and it'll go through the Senate. But if not, we'll do what we can in the House of Representatives, which controls the purse strings.
And you bring up Governor Ron DeSantis, which is a perfect transition to my next question. We are expecting and anticipating former President Donald Trump to announce his run for 2024. Do you think that's best for the Republican Party, for President Trump to run again?
President Trump has done a great job when he was president. We would not have a country if we didn't have the Supreme Court justices that he put on, as an example. He made us energy independent. He did so many good things. I do not understand for the life of me why he's criticizing a man like Ron DeSantis, who has done so many good things, who really is doing the same things that Trump is doing across the country. Ron DeSantis is doing in Florida, and people rewarded him for that. So I don't understand why he's doing that, jumping on a man who's basically doing his policies. Now, if he runs, and if DeSantis runs, the American people will have a choice. I will say this: the stable of candidates that we're putting up on the Republican Party are as solid a candidates compared to basically an empty bench for the Democrat Party. Fetterman, he can't string 2 sentences together. How that man got elected, I have no idea. All the leadership positions that Democrats hold now is an embarrassment to the country, and they're doing a lot of damage. But, it is what it is. We take what we can get. It's really important for us to get a conservative speaker and to do something with power, which hopefully we'll do.
And you being from South Carolina, there have already been conversations about Senator Tim Scott as well as Nikki Haley. Can you shine any light on their intentions for 2024?
I think everybody is, the presidency is an office that we have got to win in 2024. We just got to win it because of the damage that's been done. And we're lucky. I mean, it'll play out as it will. Tim Scott's a great candidate. Nikki Haley's a great candidate. You'll have DeSantis if he gets in. Trump is a known quantity. People know that. We'll have a excellent array of choices for the American people to decide. And we'll see how it turns out.
I did want to ask you as well, especially with the conversations that have been going on in the upstate about book bannings or as far as taking LGBTQ plus books out of the children's section. You had co-sponsored a bill with Congressman Timmons that would prohibit the use of federal funds for any sexually oriented content of programs for kids 10 or under. Do you anticipate pushing that bill forward now that the Republicans will be able to control the House?
Absolutely. We'll get a lot of support for it. Education should be for educating children, the math, the sciences, not sex books, not transgender issues, not the mutilation of our children, particularly at such a young age. You take those books out, and that's not the purpose of education. And I feel so very strong about this. I got heavily involved in our school board races in my home city, and I feel real strong about this. You protect our children. And it's almost like it's an assault on our children. And I think it is. Just like it's an assault, it's an invasion of our border. Same thing is happening with our children. And it's happening with our young people across the board with the fentanyl, the 300 per day that they're killing. So, yes, but your question on the books, absolutely would ban that. And we're going to take the bill will come back up. And I think with a Republican speaker, they'll allow that to come onto the floor, and I think we'll pass it.
Okay, Congressman Norman for us this evening. We'll be following that very closely. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.